everyone, and welcome back to the Unmute Your English channel.
I am absolutely thrilled you're joining me today. I'm going to be your English coach as we walk through a very specific, incredibly useful scenario together. We're going to dive right into a highly practical, step-by-step guide to travel English, focusing entirely on checking into a hotel. We'll break down a real, everyday conversation, and I'll give you the exact phrases you need to sound polite, natural, and perfectly confident on your next trip. So, picture this. Have you ever arrived at a hotel after a brutal, exhausting trip? Maybe you've crossed multiple time zones, and suddenly, poof, every word of English you know just completely vanishes from your mind? It's a completely normal and honestly very relatable travel anxiety. Your brain is tired, and suddenly you feel like you're in the spotlight. But don't worry at all. In this explainer, we are going to practice a real hotel check-in conversation from start to finish, exactly how it happens in real life, so you'll be 100% prepared. Okay, let's set the scene. Imagine it's 7:30 p.m. You've just arrived at the front desk of your hotel after a long flight, dragging your heavy suitcase behind you. Stepping into the role of the warm professional receptionist, I smile and say, "Good evening. Welcome to Riverside Hotel. How could I help you today?" And as the tired but polite guest, I reply with a really natural opening. "Hi, I'd like to check in. I have a reservation under James Carter." Notice how clear and direct this is. You state exactly what you want to do, and you immediately provide the name the room is booked under. It gets everything moving smoothly. Let's pause for a quick teaching breakout. Look at the difference between these two phrases. First we have, "I want to check in." Now, while that's grammatically correct, it sounds a little blunt, or even demanding. Instead, we want to use, "I'd like to check in." This is polite, natural, and just much more common. "I'd like to" is honestly the magic phrase for travelers. I'm going to pause for just a moment so you can practice saying it out loud with me. Ready? I'd like to check in. Great job! Jumping back into our role play, the receptionist needs to verify my details. She says, "Certainly. Let me pull that up. Could you spell your last name for me?" I reply, "Sure, it's Carter." Then she asks, "And may I see your passport, please?" I hand it over. "Of course, here you go." She checks her computer and confirms, "Thank you. Just give me a moment. Yes, I found your reservation. You'll be staying with us for 3 nights in a standard queen room." I confirm with a simple, "That's right." Next up is the payment step. The receptionist asks if I'll be using the same credit card for my reservation, which I am. I insert my card into the reader. And this brilliantly illustrates a super common hotel policy you should always expect. The receptionist explains, "Perfect. The payment has been authorized. There's also a refundable security deposit of $50. It'll be returned after checkout if there are no additional charges." As the guest, I calmly reply, "No problem. That's pretty standard." Knowing about this deposit in advance totally saves you from that awkward surprise at the front desk. Now we get to the fun part, the amenities. The receptionist asks if I want 1 or 2 key cards. I just need 1. She tells me, "All right, you're in room 814 on the 8th floor." I then ask a couple of essential questions about breakfast and Wi-Fi. She lets me know breakfast is served from 6:30 until 10 in the ground floor restaurant. Even better, complimentary Wi-Fi is available everywhere. I just need to connect to the network Riverside Guest and enter my room number and last name. No special password required. Sounds easy enough, right? The receptionist then kindly asks if I'm traveling for business or vacation. I mention it's a bit of both, a conference tomorrow, then some exploring. But then, I decide to make a special request. I ask, would it be possible to have a room on a higher floor? I usually sleep better when it's quieter. The receptionist checks her system. She tells me that while my current room is on the 8th floor, she does have one on the 12th floor, but there's a catch. It has 2 single beds instead of 1 queen bed. I decide I'd rather keep the queen bed. She reassures me that room 814 is away from the elevators, so it should be nice and quiet anyway. Time for another quick teaching breakout. The crucial point here is how to ask for a favor or a room change. Think about the phrase we just used compared to simply saying, "I want another room." Again, that's very direct, maybe even a little rude. But consider this alternative. Would it be possible to? This is a beautifully polite and friendly way to make a request. Let's practice it together. I'll pause so you can repeat after me. Would it be possible to have a room on a higher floor? excellent. You sound like a seasoned traveler already. Okay, back to the conversation. I stick with that 8th floor room, but I have another question about the facilities. Is there a gym in the hotel, I ask? The receptionist confirms there is a 24-hour gym on the 2nd floor. Then, she shares a really great insider tip. There's also an indoor swimming pool next to the gym. Many guests miss it because it's on the lower level. This is a fantastic reminder to always ask about facilities. You might discover a hidden pool right under your nose. Thinking ahead to my departure, I ask, and what time is checkout on Friday? The receptionist tells me regular checkout is at 11 a.m. But my flight isn't until the late afternoon, so I really don't want to drag my bags around the city all day. So I ask her, is late checkout available? The receptionist provides a crystal clear breakdown of my options, which depend on room availability. Regular checkout is 11 a.m. They can usually extend it until 1 p.m. completely free of charge. And if I want to stay until 3 p.m., there is just a small additional fee. I ask if I can decide later, and she warmly agrees, saying I just need to let them know the evening before or early on my departure day. Honestly, that kind of flexibility is perfect. We are almost done, but I realize I need a couple of things. She asks if there's anything else she can help with. Actually, yes, I say. Is there a convenience store nearby? I'd like to buy a bottle of water and maybe a phone charger. I forgot mine at home. This is such a common traveler problem, isn't it? Leaving the charger plugged into the wall at home. The receptionist is incredibly helpful with her directions. She maps it out in 3 simple steps. 1, exit the hotel. 2, turn left. And 3, walk about 2 minutes. She notes I'll see a 24-hour convenience store right on the corner. Such simple, easy-to-follow directions. But she also offers a brilliant backup plan. She says, if you don't feel like going out tonight, we also sell chargers at the front desk. I ask how much they are, and she replies they're $15. That's actually not too bad at all for the convenience. I tell her I'll think about it, and she assures me there is no rush. Before I finally head up to my room, I have one last very important question. I ask, could you recommend a good local restaurant nearby? Asking the front desk for dining recommendations is literally one of the best ways to find great food when you're in a new city. They always know the best spots. She delivers 2 amazing options. First, if I'm craving Italian, there's Bella Roma. It's just 5 minutes away and super popular with guests. But if I want something more authentic to the area, she recommends Harbor Kitchen, which serves traditional local dishes and stays open until 10 p.m. I decide Harbor Kitchen sounds like exactly what I'm looking for tonight. To wrap the whole thing up, she totally goes above and beyond. I ask if she can mark the restaurant on a map, and she says, here you are. I've also circled the hotel, the restaurant, and the nearest subway station. I thank her for being so incredibly helpful. She replies, you're very welcome. Enjoy your stay, and if you need anything at all, just dial 0 from your room phone. And with a final, welcome to Riverside Hotel, our check-in is beautifully complete. What a perfectly smooth check-in. Now it's your turn to practice. Imagine you're walking up to that hotel front desk right now. Drop your answers in the comments. What's your name? How many nights are you staying? And what is one question you would ask the receptionist? Try using some of those polite phrases we practiced today. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer. Keep practicing, stay confident, and enjoy your travel.
Thank you everyone for watching this video. Subscribe for daily updates about real-life situations.